welcome to game number 4 of this National League Championship Series. It's yours tonight on Fox. The San Francisco Giants and the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals up 2 games to 1. And now welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck. Tim McCarver is coming right up. Well, last night we had to wait around the ballpark for a 3.5-hour delay. In the end, it was the Cardinals pulling out the victory 3-1 behind that very good bullpen. The guys just talked about that pen. It is rapidly gaining that reputation of being a shutdown group for Mike Matheny out beyond that right field wall. So now we look at tonight, and it's an intriguing pitching matchup. For the Cardinals, Adam Wainwright, Tommy John surgery a year ago. His season has built toward a crescendo so far this postseason. One good start, one very poor start in the Game 5 divisional series effort against the Washington Nationals. And Tim, the other side of it, maybe even more interesting to talk about. That's because Tim Lincecum, 2-time Cy Young Award winner, is out of the bullpen and now the starter for the Giants.
Tim Lincecum is compelling, and it's very important that he gets his feet up under him and gets comfortable because of that violent windup of his. It consists of the tilt or the shoulder turn toward third base, the dangle, look how low he carries his hand with the ball, and then a stride that sometimes reaches 7.5 feet. It's going to be interesting to see if Tim Lincecum starts this game from the windup, because he started a few games from the stretch. And if I'm Dave Righetti, the pitching coach of the Giants, that's what I encourage him to do.
Yeah, it limits some of that movement in the windup. And with his delivery, we'll see. He was warming up out of the stretch, out beyond the left field wall, getting ready for this Game 4 start. Glad you're with us. Baseball coming up next.
It's baseball in October.
The air is crisper.
The crowds are louder.
One swing to be a part of baseball history.
It's baseball in October. It's the best time of the year.
How about the Taco Bell starting lineup for the Giants? It looks like this. Angel Pagan leads it off in center. Marco Scutaro bats second at second. Then Buster Posey, for just the second time all year, is hitting in the number 3 spot in front of Pablo Sandoval. Hunter Pence has been backing up Posey. He's down 2 more spots, with Hector Sanchez getting the start behind the plate. The switch hitting rookie catcher Gregor Blanco is out in left. Brandon Crawford, the shortstop, and Tim Lincecum pitching and batting ninth. And here is Adam Wainwright. 1 good start, 1 bad start so far this postseason.
Only 14 and 13 on the year, but it's deceptive because he had a slow start. He finished winning 7 of his last 9 starts. Gets the curveball over with 2 strikes, more than any other right-handed pitcher in the National League. And he has been great at home. 43 and 25 for his career.
Shot over the Clydesdales in the opening pitch. Brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Angel Pagan first up. Scutaro and Posey will follow. Giants need to get off to a good start here against Adam Wainwright, down 2 games to 1. Wainwright wants to follow suit after Loesch worked yesterday. A wide strike has Pagan shaking his head as he backs out of the box. Pagan, a career .355 hitter against Cardinal pitching, 3rd highest among active hitters. And he's in the hole 1-2.
Boy, that was a tough cut fastball in on the hands to Pagan. Left-handed hitters, if he keeps throwing that pitch all night, it would not bode well for them.
Just got a piece. Pagan did. Molina tried to tag him, saying that he missed the ball. And he may have.
He may have is right.
I don't think he got it.
Looked like he swung over it.
So the at-bat continues. And the count stays 0-2. To the shortstop, Cosma. 1 out. Home plate umpire tonight is Greg Gibson. Ted Barrett at first, Jerry Lane at second, Gary Darling, the crew chief, who started this series behind the plate. Then he goes to right, to left, into third. He's over at third. Guccione is down the left field line, and Bill Miller, who worked the plate last night, that long night, 3.5-hour rain delay, is out in right. Here's Scudero. 2 hits in each of the first 3 games. Takes a strike. Pretty good sip from Wainwright here early.
Joe, we met with Scudero before the game, and Marco said we have to get the Cardinals starters because that bullpen is awfully tough. They all throw exceptionally hard.
Here's the 0-1. That's foul. Strike 2. Nothing but strikes so far from Wainwright. Scudero has felt the pain in his knee get better every day. First it was the hip, then it went down into his knee with that slide in the first inning of game 2, but he's getting around all right. Wearing a big smile on his face, and why not? The way he hit in the second half. Picked up on the 27th of July by the Giants, and here he is in the NLCS. Still 0-2 on Scudero. Buster Posey up in that number 3 spot, with Pablo Sandoval behind him. Been in front of him this postseason. Here's the 0-2. Ball 1 in the dirt. Wainwright coming off Tommy John surgery last year. He won 19 games in 2009 when he finished second in the Cy Young voting to his opponent tonight, Tim Lincecum. Won 20 in 2010. Missed all of last year. That's low. 2-2.
A weak start for Wainwright. That was understandable because his arm was healing and getting stronger toward the second half. And as we said in the open, 7-1 in his last 9 starts.
Fly ball into right. Alan Craig, who has been the first baseman this postseason, now in right because of the injury to Beltran, hauls it in. So you know the big change so far. That's Craig in right, and Matt Carpenter, who came on to play in right field yesterday, one of 4 right fielders for the Cardinals in game 3, is now at a more comfortable position first base. Joined by the usual guys, Descalso, Cosma, Freeze on the infield. Holiday in left and John Jay in center. And Yadier Molina, who should finish in the top 5 in the MVP voting, is trying to figure out a way, along with Adam Wainwright, how to get the likely MVP out to have a perfect first inning. That's Buster Posey. Good curveball, strike 1.
Strong stuff by Wainwright here in the first.
That bounces in. There was a lot written, and there has been a lot written. If you look at the curveball and that index finger off the baseball from Wainwright, so much written about his innings load coming off Tommy John surgery as he falls behind his first hitter in this first inning. He threw just under 200 innings during the regular season. He went 5 2/3 in game 1 of the division series and just 2 1/3 in game 5. Good curveball again, and that's strike 2. Posey can't pull the trigger on that pitch. Into center field, John Jay is there, and it is a 1-2-3 inning to start the night for Adam Wainwright. Now it's Tim Lincecum, 2-time Cy Young Award winner, to the hill, no score. Been answered.
It certainly has. Tim Lincecum threw 17 pitches warming up, all from the stretch, and he's thrown all pitches from the stretch and warming up before the game. I think that makes so much sense, because Timmy's got a lot of movable parts in that windup, and things have to be perfect. The rhythm has to be perfect. The cadence has to be perfect. Going from the stretch calms things down.
So you have the answer to point number 3, and talk about the first 2 points.
Yeah, the control vital. He was second in the National League in walks with 90. 17 wild pitches led the National League. So the early inning, getting his feet under him, very, very important for the Giants.
He also led the league in losses. Nobody saw that coming.
No.
This is a guy that has been one of the most consistent performers since he came to the big leagues in 07. 10th overall pick in 06. Came up in 07, won the Cy Young Award in 08 and 09. There's a strike. 92 from the right-hander, who is 5'11", 157 pounds. So he weighs less than 160. One of just 4 back-to-back Cy Young Award winners. His 1-1 pitch is into center, base hit. Starting lineup for the Cardinals brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you've got to live Moss. You know Jay. Now it's Matt Carpenter who slid into that number 2 spot in place of the injured Beltran and went deep. The biggest swing of Game 3. Matt Holliday hits third. Alan Craig is in right. Yadier Molina, David Freese, Descalso, Cosma, and Wainwright. Pretty good hitting pitcher batting 9th. Here's Matt Carpenter, who hit the home run yesterday, and in 6 career games against the Giants is 8 out of 14. The majority of that against their best starter, Matt Cain.
5 for 5 against Cain.
Carpenter 2 out of 8 this postseason. Just that 1 home run and a total of 3 RBIs. That skips in. As you look at Jay at first base, when we talked to him before the game, Jay's been struggling. This Cardinal lineup has been struggling, hitting only 198 in this NLCS. I said to Jay, what do you look for out of Tim Lincecum? What do you see on video? And he said, nope, I'm not looking at video. I'm not going to cloud my head with a bunch of thoughts. I'm going to react when I see it. And he's 1 for 1. Ball 2.
The one thing the left-handed hitters in particular have to do, they have to wait as long as they can. Number one, that's one of the terrific things that you do when you're hitting well, is wait and then have quick hands. Wait for it to develop. With that violent stretch position, you have a tendency to commit too soon. Can't do that.
3-0. A 4-pitch walk to Matt Carpenter. And that presents Matt Holliday with a big chance here in the opening inning of Game 4. Lincecum worked 2 innings in the division series Game 2 against Cincinnati. Got the win in Game 4 with 4 1/3 innings, 1 run, 6 strikeouts, only 2 hits. 2 hitless innings in Game 1 of this NLCS. But he's in a first inning jam here in his first postseason start this year. And he deals with Matt Holliday, who is hitless at home during this postseason.
Ideal hitting situation for Holliday. A pitcher struggling with his control. More apt to throw. If he does throw a strike, he'll find the middle of the plate.
There's a strike. It's 1-1. A leadoff hit, then a walk. heart of the Cardinal lineup has really struggled this entire postseason. Up the middle, that's a base hit. Jay will round third, head home, and it's 1-0 St. Louis as Holiday delivers in the first.
And now Dave Righetti out to talk to Lincecum. Good base running by the Cardinals. John Jay scores easily. A fat part of the plate, backup slider. Ideal to hit, and Holiday does. Really good base running by Carpenter, who delays a little past second base. And then he looks out at Angel Pagan and goes to third easily. So single, walk, single, nets the Cardinals a run here in the first.
All that extension, getting the most out of what he's got. Lincecum, and now first and third, still nobody out for Alan Craig, who does not have a hit over his last 4 postseason games. Carpenter at third, Holiday at first, nobody out. Alan Craig, strike one. Craig part of this 3-4-5 combo that struggled with runners in scoring position for the Cardinals, and he's got Carpenter at third, Holiday at first. Here in the first, game 4, strike 2.
Funny about early hits in an inning. Instead of waiting with 1 out to get a man on or 2 outs to get a man on, you have a chance to get a big inning going. As the Cardinals are trying to do that with single, walk, single.
Alan Craig fouls it back here. We mentioned in the first couple of games in San Francisco that Allen led the National League in batting average with runners in scoring position, hit 400. That's why, even though he started the season late coming back from a knee injury, he knocked in 92. Hit 22 home runs, hit 307.
High fastball.
And that straightens up Alan Craig with ball 1.
I don't think that's the best chance for a strikeout with a high fastball, but not every pitch is designed to get you out. I think Lincecum will come back with a ball in the dirt and try to get Craig to chase.
Lincecum needs the strikeout. Down and in, 2-2.
Come on, babe.
Tim Lincecum, who was front and center when the Giants won it all in 2010, went 4-1 that postseason. Brings home a 2-2. That was an odd-looking delivery. Got away inside, and it started 0-2. Now it's 3-2.
He's almost bending backwards from the waist. It was a split fastball. He's missed with 2 splitters.
Driven in the air to left center field. Pagan with a nice catch. Tagging and scoring is Carpenter. It's 2-0.
Good at bat by Alan Craig. Behind in the count, 0-2. Gets a 3-2 slider. Very good play by Angel Pagan. Tracking it to his right. They get the out, but another Cardinal runner scores.
Yeah, but who knows if that ball gets by Pagan, what kind of an inning this could be. That was a nice grab.
Yep.
On a rocket out to left center. Now Yadier Molina 1-on-1 out, 2 runs home. Molina, 5 out of 33 this postseason. Watch the jump. Out in center field, and he caught it about knee high, maybe lower. Sinking line drive off the bat of Alan Craig. Strike one on Molina. See if Lincecum can settle down and settle into this. Yadier 3 out of 12 in this LCS. Put together his best offensive season, career high in average, home runs, RBIs. Base running by Matt Carpenter pays off on the sac fly to center. Pitch was up and Molina fouled it back. Strike two. Pagan will drift to grab it. 2 out. Holiday back to first. And that'll bring in David Freese. Great feature in our pregame show about Game 6 and a look back in the World Series last year. David Freese became an instant hero. Maybe not instant because it was the MVP of the NLCS, but one of the greatest final 2 at bats in a World Series game ever.
Tony La Russa has a book out. I think it's called One Strike Away. And it's about that Game 6 and about that season last year. Tony retired after Game 7 of the World Series.
Base hit left field. Freese has his 4th hit of this series. Holiday at second. 2 out in the inning.
First ball hitting again. It's easier to hit against a pitcher who is struggling with his control, because when you do get a fastball, it's in the middle of the plate, and that one was.
So Descalso now with runners at first and second, 2 out. Strike one. It's not that long ago the Cardinals had a revolving door at their middle infield spots. And in the postseason it has settled to Descalso and Cosma. Tyler Green was a part of it. Skip Schumacher was a part of it at second base. Ryan Jackson, a young shortstop, was a part of it. And of course Rafael Furcal, who hurt his right elbow at the end of August, trying to avoid surgery. The end of year 1 of a 2-year deal. Here's the 0-1. Strike 2.
Tim Lincecum pitching to a 22-year-old catcher in Hector Sanchez. He has caught his last 8 games.
Here's the 0-2. He struck him out, and that's the way the first inning ends. But not the best start for the 2-time Cy Young Award winner. 3 hits in the inning, a walk. 2 runs on the board for the Cardinals, up 2-1. They lead 2-0. Of support as we go to the second inning. 2-0 Cardinals. The Giants will be Sandoval, Sanchez, and Hunter Pence. Adam Wainwright was sharp in that first inning. He gets a fastball by the bat of Sandoval. The velocity is down a bit after the Tommy John surgery. But the arsenal that Wainwright brings with him to the mound with that good curveball and a lot between the ears Makes him still tough to face. That's back to the screen, strike two.
What did Bruce Bochy tell us in the meeting yesterday? That too many young pitchers get caught up in velocity, trying to throw harder than the next guy. And eventually, after 4 or 5 years in the major leagues, they settle in to a velocity that's more accustomed to how they'll finish their career.
He's got Sandoval at 1-2. Defensive swing by Pablo to stay up there.
Movement and location more important than velocity.
1-2 the count. Last night a frustrating night for the Giants when they went 0 for 7. Runners in scoring position and stranded 11. Loesch induced a couple of double play balls and a lot of missed opportunity. Sandoval did not go. And the count 2-2.
Held up. Good call.
Trying to get on to start this second. Giants are hitting .272 in this NLCS. Sandoval 3 hits in 13 at bats. Here's a 2-2. Pretty good at bat. Yet when you talk about the guys who were supposed to carry this offense, what they did in the regular season compared to what they've done in this LCS, that group is combined for 1 RBI. Here's another 2-2. Breaking ball, fly ball, right center. Over to get it to his left, John Jay. 1 out.
Talk about an intelligent center fielder. We talked with John Jay tonight, and I had no idea that at a very young age he had such a discipline and a knowledge of what he's doing on defense. Playing the counts, moving 3 feet to his right or to his left, depending on the count on the hitter, playing shallow, taking chances. Very, very impressive.
Here's Hector Sanchez, the switch hitting catcher. He takes a strike. Cardinals brought in Jim Edmonds, who's one of the best defensive center fielders ever, for a week during spring training, and he really tutored John Jay. Edmonds had a great working relationship when he was in center, and the Cardinal manager Mike Matheny was behind the plate. First game Edmonds and Matheny worked together in 2000. After the first inning, Edmonds came into the dugout and asked Matheny, a 4-time Gold Glove Award winning catcher, what was that pitch that the pitcher shook off in the second hitter?
Is that a slider or a fastball?
He could read the signs Matheny was putting down from all the way out in center field. Good tight breaking ball from Wainwright, strike 2.
I tell you, that's a strong set of eyes that Jim Edmonds had him. Amazing.
Edmonds back in St. Louis for this series, watching. 1-2. Got him looking. Strikeout number 1 for Adam Wainwright. And that good curveball is on in the early going for Wainwright.
He threw that curveball with 2 strikes 538 times this year. As we said in the open, the most in the National League. So, I mean, you're talking about a scouting report. If I hear that scouting report that he threw it more times than any other pitcher, right-handed pitcher in the National League, that's something I'm going to hook on to. So far, the Giants haven't.
Here's Pence. I know it got your goat that Hunter Pence called himself the GOAT from Game 3.
I hate that word. I hate the word GOAT. And Bruce Bochy said, yeah. And add to that.
Here's a shot to left. Forget about GOAT right now. He has cut the lead in half. Hunter Pence goes deep. After a frustrating Game 3, it's a 2-1. Game 4 here in the second. And that was a no-doubter to the back of the seats beyond the bullpen.
No GOAT here is right, Joe. Middle of the plate. Gone. He had 24 in the regular season.
That is his first extra base hit of this postseason. Now fly ball into left, sends Holiday back to end the inning, but the Giants are on the board. The lead cut in half, and it's Hunter Pence, who has been frustrated to this point. Got all of it. 2-1. Bottom of the second. Lincecum back to the hill. Give you the X Factor player to watch. The X Factor player is Tim Lincecum. 9 career games in the postseason coming in. 5-1 record. 2.18 ERA. Gave up 2 in the first inning and finds the inside part of the strike zone to Cosma. 2-1 game. Bottom of the second. Cosma, then Wainwright, then Jay. Home run by Hunter Pence in the top of this inning. Here is an 0-1 pitch. Ball and a strike. Cosma has hit .361 here at Busch Stadium since he came up at the end of August. Had a hit in game 3. Takes a strike there in the hole 1 and 2. He has come alive with runners in scoring position. 1 home run, a game 3 division series shot. 3-run home run in DC. He didn't go. The count 2-2.
Saw that check swing by Pablo Sandoval, and now a check swing on a tough pitch by Cosma.
So a 2-2 count, trying to get on to allow Wainwright a chance to bunt. Lincecum's next is hit hard to Sandoval. Knocks it down but can't find it. And Cosma's on to start the second.
It's a tough error, tough play. But had he come up with it immediately, he makes the play. So it's an error on Sandoval. And that'll give Wainwright a chance to bunt. The ball hit very hard. Landed in the middle of the glove, but trickled out. And right there, that caused the error.
It's the 3rd error of the postseason for Sandoval. And so Cosma is on. Wainwright can bunt. Cosma can really run. Does not take a perfect bunt to get the job done. And already once this postseason, the Cardinals have put a run and bunt on with Cosma running, where they've sent Cosma, gotten the bunt down, and Cosma's gone first to third.
That would be unwise, in my opinion, against Lincecum, because he's too wild. But
there he
doing
goes. The throw down is in time, 1 away, and you wonder if there was a missed sign there.
Yeah, that is not a wise move on the part of the young 24-year-old Cosma. Sanchez can throw, and he does, to nail Cosma.
What a throw by Hector Sanchez, and he got Cosma with a beautiful peg down to second.
You get the bunt down, and the sacrifice is there. There's no need to hit and run right there because Lincecum is too wild to do such a thing.
So now the count's 2-1 on Wainwright. One out, nobody on. Big caught stealing by Hector Sanchez. And it's 3-1 on Wainwright to emphasize your point. His control here in 2012 isn't there.
90 walks, 2nd in the National League.
And he walks the pitcher with 1 out. Let's send you down to the dugout. Aaron Andrews.
Joe, Bruce Bochy has said to us over the past couple of days that he's just been so impressed with Tim Lincecum, who was sent to the bullpen. And in the postseason, he said, I just want to help. Anything I can do. I spoke to Brian Wilson and Matt Cain today about Lincecum and his attitude, and they both told me the fact that this guy put the team first, did everything he could do to try to work things out in the pen. You can tell even when he came down to the dugout after a tough inning, everybody's just sitting here rooting him on because they want this guy to do well, obviously. Brian Wilson told me the biggest key for him tonight is you just have to go inning by inning, and that'll be true tonight.
Well, Aaron, they need him to do well. A guy that they counted on coming into the season, the two-time Cy Young Award winner. First pitch missed badly to John Jay after a walk to the pitcher. Lincecum started to get it together in the second half of the season, but then stumbled in his final 2 starts as Pagan hauls in out number 2. The Soulard area of downtown St. Louis. Here's Matt Carpenter, who walked and scored his first time.
Seeing the Clydesdales trotting around the stadium the night before the game reminded us of Mike Matheny, who's got a Clydesdale horseshoe on his desk, given to him by an executive for Anheuser-Busch, and it's worked so far this season.
Here's a strike over the outside corner.
Mike very proud of that Clydesdale horseshoe.
Dave Peacock, former executive at Anheuser-Busch, gave it to him. Here's the 0-1. Carpenter took high, a ball and a strike. It is a Cardinal baseball tradition. Gussie Busch used to appear at the season opener and during the postseason on the hitch, Clydesdale hitch. That misses down and away, and when Lincecum is missed, he's missed by a lot.
And that's what happens with Timmy, because there's such action on his pitches. Sometimes that action takes the ball out of the strike zone.
Pretty good pitch there. Carpenter over the top of it, 2-2. Carpenter 6 home runs during the regular season. And the home run yesterday against Matt Cain. 1 on, 2 out, ball 3, not close, not even giving a hitter a chance to go after a pitch with 2 strikes. He did get a strikeout of Descalso last inning. He's already up to 42 pitches through an inning and 2/3. Wainwright not being held on. He'll take off on the pitch. Big ERA by Lincecum on the road this year. Runner goes on ball 4, and that presents Matt Holliday with a chance as Matt Carpenter walks for the second time tonight. And here comes Righetti.
Second trip to the mound in the second inning for Day.
While we have a moment, we'll go for a game break, and Matt Vasgersian at the MLB Network.
Joe and Tim, half the World Series, as you know, is set. The Tigers win their 11th American League pennant, first since 2006. The Yankees are swept in a postseason series for the first time since 1980. And good or bad, the Tigers have 5 days to prepare for the start of the World Series. The party's beginning in Detroit. And Joe and Tim, it's on the same day that a long, interesting offseason may be beginning in New York.
Wow, that's for sure. I mean, where do you start talking about that series? First of all, you start with the Detroit starting pitching. Scherzer today picked up where Verlander left off. Here's one into left. Back in front of the track as Holliday gave it a ride but got under it to end the second. We'll have more on the Yankees when we come back. A look at that Clydesdale hitch making its way around the track before tonight's game. 2-1 after 2. 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Giants, down by 1. Crawford, Lincecum, and Pagan. If anybody gets on, Scudero against Adam Wainwright. 2-1 game. Cardinals got 2 in the first. The Giants got 1 on a home run by Hunter Pence, and that's outside ball 1. Crawford's been a good hitter here in 9 games, hitting .343. Had 2 hits and a walk in game 3. Up on the count here, 2-0. With the count 2-0, Wainwright has to throw a strike and does over the outside part. Lincecum, will he get a chance to bunt? That's up to Crawford and Wainwright. Little floater into center. John Jay is there. 1 out. We know that the Detroit Tigers are in it, and they are rolling right now in the American League. They swept the Yankees. Starts next Wednesday, October 24th. The 108th World Series here on Fox, and it will start at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. The Tigers will be either in St. Louis or in San Francisco. The series starts in the NL City after the National League All-Star Game win in Kansas City in July. Here's Lincecum, who during the regular season was 4 out of 45, 3 RBIs. Hitless this postseason. Ball and a strike.
Joe, you talked about that rotation of the Tigers, and what a job Dave Dombrowski, the general manager, has done with that team, putting that rotation together. All right-handers.
And then Phil Koch settled in as the closer. That got a lot of Yadier Molina, and he's in some pain after the foul tip caught him.
Yadi, I'm saying this in jest, but I really missed that.
Yeah. I bet. It got a lot of the wrist.
Yadi trying to win a second World Series ring. His 2 brothers also have World Series rings.
These 2 managers know all about that. Mike Matheny and Bruce Bochy, former big league catchers. Counts 1-2 on Lincecum. Yeah, that rotation gave up 2 earned runs as that breaking ball strikes out Lincecum, looking second strikeout, second out of the inning. 2 earned runs allowed by the Detroit starters in that Yankees series. Eduardo Nunez was really the one guy that did something against Verlander. Gave up 1 run, and Scherzer 1 run today. That's it.
Yeah, Verlander's homegrown, of course. 2 years ago, Dombrowski picks up Scherzer. Last year, Doug Fister. And this year, Anibal Sanchez. And there's your rotation. And were they ever potent against the Yankees?
2 out. Here's Pagan, and there's a shot into the gap in right center field. That ball will get down and go to the wall. Pagan can scoop, and he's going to end up at third base with 2 out. A 2-out triple, standing up for Angel Pagan. He's the tying run.
There aren't too many stand-up triples, but Angel Pagan led the National League in triples with 15. That was a changeup. And he finds a gap and runs all day or night.
And with a runner at third, 2 out, Scudero will have a chance to tie this game with a hit. You know, right now the Giants wouldn't want anybody else up.
Excuse me, Joe. This is the one guy. I was thinking the same thing. The one guy that the Cardinals do not want to see up in this situation.
Flied out to right his first time.
You're not going to strike him out. Toughest to strike out in the National League. He is red hot.
And a fastball by his bat, strike 1. We talked to Marco before the game and brought up how locked in he's been since coming to the Giants. He said, I've really been locked in all year. I just hit into terrible luck with Colorado. 36-year-old second baseman. Ball one. He's played for 8 organizations, 6 major league teams. He played in the minor leagues for 7 seasons before getting called up with the Mets at the age of 26.
You talk about a guy who knows how to play the game. Fun to watch.
The 1-1 pitch, tying run at third, 2 out. Breaking ball, broke his back. Wainwright to first for the out. And the inning is over. The 2-out triple by Pagan sends us into the bottom of the third. The hometown Cardinals up 2-1. Breaking ball misses to Alan Craig, and we're underway in the bottom of the third. 2-1 St. Louis, game 4. 2-1 St. Louis in this series. Alan Craig, Yadier Molina, David Freese. Anybody gets on Descalso against Lincecum. Gave up 2 runs in the first and got around 2 walks and an error thanks to a caught stealing in the second. There's a strike. We go back to the end of the top of this inning and the shattered bat with that ultra slow-mo look at it on the breaking ball from Wainwright. Here's a 1-1. Craig is jammed a bit, grounds to Sandoval. 1 out. You know, we talked about that ALCS, and from the Detroit side, we'll be seeing plenty of them starting next week. But from the Yankee side, Tim, and we're going to involve Kenny in this conversation, we went into this postseason knowing that the Red Sox, after getting rid of so much money in those deals that they made down the stretch, the big one to the Dodgers, that the Red Sox will look entirely different in 2013. You wonder how much different the Yankees will look, considering how they fared in that ALCS, not the least of which is the performance of Alex Rodriguez.
Well, that is an interesting question, as we have seen the 2 fiefdoms. First the Red Sox last year in September, and in October. A team that has been so successful in October in the Yankees. Just along with GOAT, I don't like the word humiliated either, but whatever baseball humiliation is, that's what the Yankees went through in 4 games with the Tigers. They just overwhelmed New York.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Molina flies one into center. Back is Pagan at the wall. A leap and a catch. 2 out.
A leap and a catch that was well timed. I don't think it would have gone out. Well, I don't know. May have hit the top of the wall. That'd have been close.
Lincecum loved it. 2 out. And Pagan's made 2 nice plays. 1 in the first. And Yadier Molina, who does not have an extra base hit over his last 13 games, came close to giving the Cardinals their 2-run lead back.
That was also Angel's second salute. He caught the ball, saluted. After he tripled, he saluted.
With 2 out, nobody on, here's Freese. Kenny Rosenthal is with us. There's a shattered bat. We'll hear from Kenny next half inning as Posey digs out the low throw from Sandoval. Nice play, Angel Pagan for out number 2, and it's the first perfect inning for Lincecum. 2-1 Cardinals after 3. For the Giants, it'll be the big bats. Posey first up, jammed a bit, and he's going to try and drop one into right. Craig is there. 1 out. Okay, finally, I've been teasing the appearance of Kenny Rosenthal, and I will make America wait no longer. Ken, how about that situation with the Yankees and the fallout with A-Rod and everything that's gone on in New York?
Well, Joe, Alex Rodriguez told reporters after the game that he wants to return to the Yankees, will not waive his no-trade rights. 5 years, $114 million left on that contract. But guys, keep in mind a couple of things. We've seen in recent years that no contract is immovable. And also, A-Rod's position on October 18th may not be his position later this offseason. Stay tuned.
Kenny, I don't want to let you go that quickly as Sandoval takes a curveball for a strike. Pablo flied to center his first time up. 1 out, nobody on here in the 4th. Fouled back. First of all, who is your bow tie representing tonight, Kenny?
It is representing the United Services Organization, which does a great job with the troops all over the world, and that's the one for tonight.
Fantastic. And I do want to ask you if you think A-Rod is going to leave. What's your gut tell you? Is he lined up for the Yankees in 2013, or do you believe he'll be gone?
Joe, my gut says no, simply because of the way this all went down as the ALCS progressed. The pinch hit appearances, the benchings, all that went between him and Joe Girardi, and frankly the front office and ownership as well. I'm sure they were well aware of the situation, and he did not play well. There's no question about it. He was helpless against right-handed pitching. But at the same time, very few superstars are treated like that.
1 out, nobody on. 1-2 the count. Still 1-2. A-Rod 3 out of 25. No RBIs this postseason.
And Ken, from what we understand, $114 million is still owed by the Yankees to Alex Rodriguez. Is that correct?
That is correct, Tim.
So if he does go somewhere, the Yankees are going to have to basically pay some team to take Alex Rodriguez off their hands. Here's a 1-2 to Sandoval again. Fouled back.
This is strictly speculation, but it seems to me that if he is traded, the most reasonable place for him to go would be Miami. That's his home. Jeffrey Loria could handle it. The Yankees could handle 90% of his salary or so. I would imagine you could get him cheaply. Wouldn't have to give up prospects.
Here's a 1-2. Hard hit right side. Descalso has time. Good play. 2 out. I would agree with you. But it wasn't just A-Rod. That offense hit 188 as a group in October, and against the Tigers, as we've said, did nothing against the starting rotation. The only guy that really had a hiccup was Valverde, the closer, who eventually gave way to Phil Koch, who started closing games for Jim Leyland, as Jim was able to find a hot guy to go to for the last outs. 2 out, nobody on. Here is Sanchez, and the catcher takes a strike.
Nick Swisher had a bad LCS. Robinson Cano. And Robinson Cano came into the postseason as the hottest hitter in the major leagues.
Hard to believe, but that group, that payroll, that talent hit 157 against the Tigers in the ALCS. 0-2 the count on Hector Sanchez. There you get it all, our names and the weather and where we are. We're in game 4, 4th inning, 2-1 St. Louis. Both counts. The 0-2. That curveball has been really good for Adam Wainwright here tonight. It was the one pitch that was launched by Hunter Pence, and then a changeup that was hit by Pagan. That gets away from Molina. The count 2-2. Sanchez has hit .340 since the 1st of September. 1 for 4 this postseason. Trying to get on with 2 out in the 4th inning. There's the hook again, and it's fouled. They are packed in and bundled up. And hopefully the rain will stay away, not just tonight, but tomorrow night. Really windy during the majority of the day. That wind has died down. Once the sun went down, here comes a 2-2 pitch. Again to Hector Sanchez. Got him on the inside corner, inning over. Strikeout number 3 for Adam Wainwright. And he's taking care of Sanchez with strikeouts twice. We look at the two pitchers. Adam Wainwright for the Cardinals. Tim Lincecum back to the hill for the Giants. He's down 1. First pitch of the bottom of the 4th to Descalso is up and away, ball 1. Descalso, Cosmo, Wainwright, bottom 3 in the order. With Lincecum on the hill, we just had a chance to visit with Tim's pitching coach, Dave Righetti, who had a great career. Talked about that and detailed it the other night. That misses outside to count 2-0. And if we get a chance during this 4th inning, we'll play the interview for you, dissecting what Lincecum is doing so far tonight. Fouled away, 2-1. Descalso struck out to end a long first inning for Lincecum. A 25-pitch first inning, as you see. At just an 8-pitch third against Craig Molina-Freeze. Rolled over to the right side, 2-2. Another foul against Lincecum, who is 5-1 with a career ERA of under 3 against the Cardinals. Now the 2-2 again. Into center. Pagan breaks back for out number 1. First question to Dave Righetti, the pitching coach, was about Tim Lincecum settling into this start.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning he was overclosed and cutting himself off, and obviously the baseballs weren't going where we'd like and he would like, so just that's all it was settle him down a little bit and get him on line.
Cutting himself off. What do you mean by that, Dave?
Well, Tim, you know, if the shoulders are overclosed, and of course he's going to step across his body. When he does that, it just straightens out the ball, and the only fastball that's working is running towards the right-hand hitter and away from the lefty, and so you saw a lot of misses that way.
Was it your suggestion or his idea to just work out of the stretch?
Well, we've been through this for about 6 years. Anytime he's had trouble on certain mounds, it used to be he'd go into the stretch and stay there the rest of the game. Lately, he's been pitching out of the stretch, you know, the last 3-4 games, so we didn't want to mess with it. He was comfortable. He wanted to do it, and, you know, I trust him.
Hey, Dave, thanks for doing it. We appreciate it.
All right, you guys.
Thanks. Dave Righetti, now the longest tenured pitching coach in the league with the San Francisco Giants, and he's got a great handle on what these guys are doing and has helped develop this good bullpen, which Lincecum has been a part of. First part of this postseason, but now in the rotation in a 2-1 game, and he delivers a good pitch down to Cosma, 2-2. He'd reached on an error his first time up, but then was out stealing. The 2-2. Got him looking. Strikeout number 1 on the night for Lincecum, 2 out. Framed there by Sanchez for the 2nd out. That'll bring in Wainwright. It's actually strikeout number 2. He got Descalso on that half swing in the first. Now he gets Cosma and deals with Wainwright, who walked his first time. Did hit a home run this year. He can swing the bat a bit.
Roll out.
Ball 1 outside.
You can see that left foot of Tim Lincecum opening up. That's what Dave Righetti was talking about earlier in the game. That left foot was pointed toward the Giant dugout, and now it's opening up toward the hitter. Much better. It's clearing that front side. His control's better. His action's better.
The results have been better.
Yeah, right. Predictably.
Retired the last 6. And he falls behind Wainwright, who he walked in the 2nd. It's 2-1. No pitch or innings limit for Lincecum tonight coming in. According to Bruce Bochy, they're just going to watch and see how it goes. Making his first start since the 30th of September. He threatens to walk Wainwright for the second time. Taking all the way. It's a full count. Leadoff hitter in the lineup, John Jay on deck. Cardinal lineup without Carlos Beltran tonight after injuring his left knee in Game 3 yesterday. 3-2 pitch. Grounded to Sandoval. And Lincecum much better here the last couple of innings as we go to the 5th. Hunter Pence coming up. He'll lead it off. He went deep his first time tonight. 2-1 game. St. Louis on top. Back after this from your local Fox station. Our Pizza Hut pitcher profile and that comparison of the two starters. Lincecum has settled into this start, no doubt. Adam Wainwright's allowed 2 hits, but one of them left the park in a 2-1 game. And that guy who homered his first time up is Hunter Pence. He's had a rough postseason. His first RBI of the postseason coming with 2 out in the second. Ball 1 down and away. Pence rode 1 out. Blasted to the back of the seats beyond the San Francisco bullpen. No doubt home run his first time. Now he takes a strike. Adam Wainwright is making his 4th career postseason start. Good curveball, strike 2. It's his 13th appearance overall, Tim, but we've seen Wainwright star in postseasons past, namely 06, as the Cardinal closer, now back in the rotation.
Right.
The 1-2. Reaching for it, Descalso down on a knee. Gets the out.
When you retire the first batter of an inning, and Wainwright has done that 5 straight innings.
Blanco fly to left his first time up. Hit the ball pretty well. Now shows bunt, bunts it foul. Hello! On deck is the number 8 man Crawford. If anybody gets on in the inning, Lincecum. This will be pitch number 60 on the night for Wainwright. It's an 0-1 delivery, and it's another good curveball for strike 2.
Boy, that curveball has just been deadly to both left-handers and right-handers.
With 1 out. Ball out. Just outside. Ball 1. Blanco 2 hits in this series. That's a fair ball. To the bag is Carpenter, 2 out. Pacific. Crawford takes ball 1.
The Stanford Cardinals, right?
Yeah. The Cardinal, and I'm not going to quiz Aaron on what's going to happen on Saturday because she's now strictly baseball. Wainwright, a false start. Cost him 5 yards, both in the college game and the NFL. Two out, nobody on. Here comes a 1-0 from Wainwright. 2-0.
Crawford with power. With 2 out and nobody on, the pitcher up next. It's a good time for a guy to try to use that power, look for something inside and jack it.
Instead, he gets a 2-0 curveball that drops in for a strike.
There's not a guy in the world who has a solution for this. 2-0 do drop in.
And just the way Molina receives it, he doesn't even flinch. Here's a pop-up back to the left, out of play, 2-2.
That's the one thing, the way Molina receives everything that impressed Buster Posey when he was on the campus of Florida State. How quiet Molina is behind the plate.
Crowd not quiet now. They want the top of the 5th to end right here. Strikeout number 4. And the inning is over. Halfway through game 4. Cardinals coming up. Bottom of the 5th. Top of their lineup. Will step to the plate. 2-1. Cards on. Lincecum has retired 7 straight. Cardinals don't have a hit since the 1st. Strike 1. It'll be Jay, then Carpenter, Matt Carpenter, and then Matt Holliday. Rolling out. There you go. A ball and a strike. Cardinals, when they got by the Brewers last year in the NLCS, just pounded the ball. As Jay takes high. In that series, they hit .310 against Milwaukee. Won the series in 6 games and scored 7+ runs per game this year. Feeney's crew, as opposed to La Russa's crew, is doing it with their pitching. Shortstop Crawford on 2 hops. 1 out.
We're going to try to show you what Dave Righetti was talking about, how Lincecum cut himself off early in the game. This is the first inning. Watch his left foot. The ball is going to go where the foot takes it. It was inside. And now in the 4th inning, watch how the front side opens more. The foot goes toward the middle of the plate, and the ball goes toward the middle of the plate. That's an exceptional job by our crew to give you an idea of what throwing across your body means.
Who do you want to credit for that? You want to credit Bill Webb?
Bill Webb, Aaron Stoichkov, and Pete Macheska. All 3. Great job.
I bet there are more people down there responsible. Here's a 1-0 pitch.
Yeah.
Up and away.
Well, of course.
2-0 count.
That's the important thing to remember about that, though. The ball will go where the foot is pointing.
Here's a fly ball into right center. Back is Pagan. This ball is off the wall. Carpenter, who homered yesterday, has got a 1-out double. And on base for the 3rd time in the game.
You know, Joe, that was a similar pitch, and the one to last night off Matt Cain. I think this is a fastball, however. It was a slider from Cain last night. But the point is, Carpenter clearing those hips and showing power once again.
He has learned how to better drive the ball in season from the 2 hitting coaches. That ball almost got out. Missed going out by about 1.5 feet. Here's Holliday. Ball 1. Mark McGuire is the holdover hitting coach from Tony La Russa's staff, and John Mabry, a player with the Cardinals who was beloved by the fans here, has joined that group. That's Mike Alpretti, the bench coach and last year's alternate hitting coach. There's one into center. That ball is a base hit. Carpenter will come around. They got a shot. Throw to the plate is dropped. Carpenter safe. It's 3-1.
What a remarkable play by Angel Pagan in center field. An in-between hop. And because of that, Carpenter had to wait a moment at second base. That gives the Giants a chance to make the play at the plate. But watch this play. That is an unbelievable play. And he hit the cutoff man. That's Brandon Crawford. But Sanchez drops the ball. There's the delay right there. The Giants had a chance and didn't make the play. The glove was closed. Sanchez tried to apply the tag prematurely before he had the ball in the glove. And the Cardinals scored their third run.
And Holiday has his second hit of the night. It's a 3-1 game in the bottom of the fifth. A double by Carpenter right in the middle of the action again. Holiday brings him home. It's an RBI base hit. But not given an error on that play. As the ball trickled away, and George Contos, who worked last night, getting loose here in the fifth tonight.
Sometimes when a catcher is trying to apply the tag, he closes the mitt too soon. And I think that's what happened to Sanchez on that attempted tag at home.
Alan Craig with a runner at second. Holiday took second on the throw home. Craig takes inside.
See, he's closing the mitt, and the ball actually hit the rim of the glove, and then the slide by Carpenter. He missed the plate initially and came back to tag it.
Here's a 1-1. Strike two.
That was an extraordinary play by Pagan in center field to just give the Giants a chance to get the runner at home.
Craig has a sac fly in this game, 0 for 1. Sanchez wanted it up. He got it up. Here's the base hit into center. And that great play on the short hop by Pagan. The relay by Crawford. Sanchez couldn't handle it. Now the 2-2 to Craig is in the dirt. Full count. Got him looking 2 out. Good pitch by Lincecum to get Alan Craig for his third strikeout of the night.
That was a slider that was up but effective.
That'll bring in Molina, who hit the ball to the track, to the wall his last time up, and a leaping catch by Pagan, who's played a great center field in this series. Late swing and a miss. With Holiday at second, 2 out. Contos ready if needed. That's Mark Gardner, the bullpen coach. For Bruce Bochy, and Molina's yelling at himself for not putting that last pitch in play.
Yeah, the first one was not hittable. The last one was.
So set up at 0-2. Lincecum trying to get through 5. One ball, 2 strikes. The Giants in the 6th inning will have the pitcher spot. I'd love to get Lincecum through this inning and then lift him for the pinch hitter. Contos is ready if needed.
Molina loves to go to right field with 2 strikes.
swing is directed that way, and the count stays 1-2. Career high 76 RBIs during the regular season, only 2 this postseason. Time called by Sanchez, the catcher. A 1-2. That one fouled to right. The next pitch will be number 90 on the night from Lincecum.
That's a way to negate that 2-strike hitter that goes the other way, is to pitch him inside. Don't let him get the barrel of the bat out. Good job by Lincecum.
2-2. Holiday with the RBI base hit in this 5th. After a 1-out double by Matt Carpenter, who has been on base 3 times and scored 2 runs. The 2-2. Up the middle. Base hit. Holiday will score. It's 4-1. And that's going to be it for Tim Lincecum. We'll have a double switch as Molina delivers with one right back up the middle.
Gritty at bat by a gritty competitor.
And Molina gets his first RBI of the series with a ground ball back into center. It's a 4-1 Cardinal lead as we play in the bottom of the 5th inning here in Game 4. No, invites you to switch to turkey.
All right.
And in this case, it wasn't just directed at you, it was to the general population. But I think you've already made that switch. Joaquin Arias takes over at short. He'll bat in the number 9 spot. Pitcher will bat 8th. That's the double switch. So Arias will lead it off in the 6th inning. David Freese at the plate. Lincecum ends up going 4 2/3. Santos misses with ball 1.
We talked about the Cardinal bullpen earlier, but how about the Giants bullpen? 8 2/3 innings and 1 hit, no runs here in the LCS.
Santos a part of that. Deals with Freese, who's 1 for 2. That bounces in, nicely played by Sanchez.
George is probably thinking, George Santos is probably thinking, I could have been a part of that Yankee deal and I could be going home. He was traded from the Yankees to the Giants. One day after spring training, Chris Stewart, the catcher, went to the Yankees, and the Yankees being swept, of course, by Detroit. And the Giants still alive.
Ground ball to second. Scudero down on a knee, gets the out. You saw the difference in the numbers for Lincecum as a reliever. He got the start tonight. Pagan came so close. Sanchez couldn't hang on to the throw from Crawford. 2 more runs for the Cardinals, who lead by 3 after 5. Our game summary is brought to you by Liberty Mutual. Matt Holliday has a couple of hits, and for Matt, he's got 2 RBIs. Matt Carpenter's been a part of the Cardinal offense. Hunter Pence, his first career postseason home run, that made it 2-1 when he hit it in the 2nd. Now it's 4-1. As Wainwright goes back to work in the 6th, and it's Joaquin Arias. Arias' first at bat since taking over in the double switch. Breaking ball is nasty again, and the count 0-2. That pitch has been working from the start for Adam Wainwright. Bounces in, ball 1. Arias, then Pagan, then Scudero. Wainwright has now won a game in his postseason career as a starter, and he deals another good curveball. Cosma makes the play to get Joaquin Arias. Top of the 6th inning, here's Pagan, who not only has that triple back in the 3rd inning, he was left on, but he has really played a strong center field for the Giants tonight in this postseason. That good curveball again, strike 1.
Only 2 hits and 2 base runners for the Giants tonight. One a home run by Hunter Pence. The other a triple by Angel Pagan, as we have a look at Carlos Beltran, who has been hitting in the cage and is ready to hit left-handed or right-handed, we understand.
Last night, it didn't look like much, actually, when he was running down the first baseline. It was yesterday late afternoon. Tried to avoid a double play by sprinting down the first baseline, and his left knee just locked up. Ken Rosenthal is with us. Ken, what do you hear down there?
Well, his difficulty is going to be playing the outfield, but he's hopeful he can get back in the lineup tomorrow night. Obviously, this is a day-to-day situation. They don't want to push it too badly, but as Mike Matheny told us before the game, Beltran recognizes the urgency as well.
Well, the guy who's replaced him couldn't do any better. Here's a ball into left for a base hit. Falls in front of Matt Holliday, and Pagan is on with 1 out in the 6th. His 2nd hit of the night and his 3rd salute. Brings in Scudero, and it wouldn't take much to get the Giants right back into this. You've got Scudero now and Buster Posey, their best hitter, on deck.
Most important at bat in this game. We've talked about it before. Scudero can pepper that hole on the right side of the infield with a runner on at first.
Takes ball 1 low. Scudero's fly to right, and then after that triple by Pagan, broke his bat, hit a comebacker to Wainwright to end the top of the 3rd. They're going to get to work in the Cardinal bullpen now. This will be pitch number 77. Base hit, left field, and the Giants are in business here in the 6th inning. Back-to-back singles with Posey coming up, representing the tying run. And it's Trevor Rosenthal getting loose. He helped the Cardinals and Kyle Loesch get out of a jam yesterday in Game 3.
We talked about it earlier. You remember our meeting with Scudero. He said we've got to get the Cardinals starters, because if they get to the bullpen, they have a lot of young arms down there who throw awfully hard.
Well, here is Posey, 24 home runs during the regular season, 2 more in the postseason. Ball 1. Posey has yet to go deep. He does not have an RBI in this NLCS. Pagan and Scudero the runners. 1 out. Fly ball into right. Alan Craig is there, 2 out. Tagging and going to 3rd is Pagan. 2 out here in the top of the 6th. Hard hit by Posey, but right at Alan Craig and right. And it's up to Pablo Sandoval, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Pablo's fly to center, grounded out. He has seen a lot of that curveball from Adam Wainwright in his 2 previous at-bats.
As all Giant hitters have tonight. Curveball has been a special pitch for Wainwright tonight.
Interesting, as time called, Dyer Miller, the Cardinal bullpen coach, waves his hat into the dugout to signify that Rosenthal is ready right now if he's needed. Right now it's Wainwright and Sandoval. Good fastball from Wainwright. Up and in a bit. Strike 1.
A cutter.
Giants are 0 for their last 11 with runners in scoring position this series. They stranded 11 in game 3. They've left only 1 tonight. The 0-1 pitch. Outside, the ball and a strike. There are the runners on, good speed. The guy at the plate, Sandoval, hit 12 home runs. He's got 1 this postseason. Came against the Reds
in Cincinnati. He hit it a ton.
Here's the 1-1. Fouled back. Strike 2. The 1-2. Hard hit, but right at Descalso. Wainwright out of trouble in the 6th. Got around back-to-back hits. And got Posey and Sandoval to strand 2. And continue to lead by 3. Matchup starts 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, and it will be Barry Zito getting his 2nd start of this postseason against Lance Lynn, who got the ball in game 1. Couldn't get through 5 with a 6-0 lead. Ended up going 3 2/3, but he gets the baseball against Zito. Giants have won each of Barry's last 12 starts. That's Terrio to the right, Zito kind of blocked by that green post. The netting in front of the dugout. Kane next to him. That's a strike. The count 1-1. For the bottom of the 6th inning, it's a 4-1 game. Descalso first up. Then Cosma, then Wainwright's spot against Contos, who got out of the 5th. Strike 2.
Some of the connections between Daniel Del Calso and Alan Craig. Alan Craig went to the University of California in Berkeley, and Descalso lives in San Francisco during the offseason in the Marina District. Loves San Francisco.
The 1-2 pitch is into right, a base hit. And Descalso's got his first hit of the night. For more on tomorrow night's matchup and Barry Zito in particular, let's go down to Aaron Andrews.
Yeah, Joe, Bruce Bochy going with Zito over Madison Bumgarner, who hasn't looked fresh. He's allowed 10 runs in 8 innings. Bochy saying today that this kid's tired. We've got to give him a rest. And Bumgarner taking it in stride, saying whatever's right for the team, I'll do it. They said he's not hurt. He's not exhausted, but he did say he had a bullpen session on Tuesday, and they found a mechanical flaw that he's trying to work on.
He is in the bullpen, Aaron, thank you, and will be there, it appears, throughout the series. Zito going tomorrow, and if the Giants can get this series back to San Francisco, as the pitch misses to Cosma, ball 1, it would be Vogelsong, who was so good in game 2 and game 6, and if there's a game 7, Matt Cain. So all the Giants want to do is get out of here and get the series Back to San Francisco as Mijares, the left-hander, gets loose. Cardinals lead here 4-1, bottom of the 6th. That's foul down the right side, strike one. Cosma's reached on an error, then was caught stealing, struck out his last time up in the 4th. Now dealing with Contos for the first time. Here's a 1-1. High and tight, 2-1. Cardinal bullpen is quiet, and Wainwright is in the on-deck circle. Bill Rosenthal was up in the top of this inning when Wainwright allowed back-to-back hits to Pagan and Scudero.
Good time to run. The 2-1 count, the perfect hit and run count with the pitcher coming up and a 3-run lead. Not a bad time to take a chance.
He starts and stops as ball 3 misses up and away, 3-1. Little flinch by Descalso, and then he stayed put as this one missed. Descalso will stop at second. Cosma on base for the second time tonight. His first hit, 2 on, nobody out.
Fat part of the plate fastball on a 3-1 count. A good play by Gregor Blanco in left field to hold Descalso at second base.
Wainwright talks to Jose Oquendo, the third base coach, about the situation. They have a meeting on the mound, the Giants do, to see what they want to do defensively, as everybody expects a bunt. Right after.
Watch if the infielders are coming in, then swing the bat. That's what he told Wainwright. If they charge and you see them, swing the bat.
If they don't charge, he'll be up there to bunt. And he backs out on ball 1. Wainwright just backed right out of the box.
I think he tried to call timeout.
Talked about it in his first at bat, that Wainwright really good at handling the bat. They're not charging, but Contos hasn't been close. It's 2-0. Bruce Bochy is going to come out and talk to not just Contos, but the entire infield.
Yeah, I think Bruce is going to tell George Contos, just throw the ball down the middle of the plate. If he's trying to bunt, let him bunt. Take the out.
So while they talk, we'll give you the Geico in-game box score for the Cardinals. Carpenter 1 for 1 with 2 walks, 2 runs scored. Matt Holliday getting his first hits this postseason here in St. Louis. His 2 singles drove home 2 runs. Then Molina, Freese, Descalso, and Cosma each with a base hit. Wainwright up there now with 2 on, nobody out, willing to give the out, trying to advance the runner, showing bunt early. And these haven't been close. 3-0. Left-handed hitting Jay on deck, lefty Mijares in the bullpen. Cantos in a ton of trouble here in the 6th.
That's the 3rd 3-ball count on Adam Wainwright tonight.
See if he takes. He does, and it's a strike. Cantos spun back towards second. Wainwright showed bunt. No mystery here. It's just that Cantos hasn't been able to throw strikes. And the bunt. Throw is to first for the out. And the bunt good enough to advance the runners to second and third. Wainwright trying to do it all here tonight.
Daniel Descalso should be credited for having an excellent jump going to third base. And Sandoval recovering, but not in time. Had he gone back to the bag initially, I think Sanchez goes to third, and the double play could have been in order. The ball is deadened, but watch Sanchez look toward third. And Sandoval's not there. You don't want to throw it then because you hit him in the back. So he had to go to first.
That's it for Cantos. Mijares coming in. Second and third, only one out. Cardinals trying to add to a 4-1 6th inning lead. Mijares takes over here in the 6th. He's going to have to do some job to avoid further damage. 5th game of the postseason, second and third, infield in. Jay takes the ball outside. Mijares has been part of a good group of lefties out in that bullpen for Bruce Bochy. John Jay is 1 for 3 tonight. Descalso, the runner at third. Cosma at second. 1 out in the inning. St. Louis already up by 3.
Even with the infield in, on a ground ball in the infield, you send the runner from third.
He went around. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And the reason for that is you have a 3-run lead, so you're going to take more chances when you're ahead. That's slider, and Jay commits.
Jay during the regular season drove home 40. It's 5 RBIs this postseason, 1 in this NLCS. Morris picked up from Kansas City, time called by Sanchez. A couple times Sanchez has done that, thinking better of whatever he gave to the pitcher. Not close, and Sanchez saved a wild pitch. 2-1. All 4 runs scored against Lincecum. 2 are sitting out there, left by Cantos.
Bruce Bochy did not like what he saw. That pitch was 4 feet outside. Great play by Sanchez.
Jay hits one in the gap. This ball will score 2. And the Cardinals open it up, lead 6-1 here in the 6th inning as John Jay gets in on the fun.
That was after the wild pitch. Bruce Bochy getting somebody up immediately after that pitch. And then the fastball right down the pipe, hammered to right center by Jay.
And the Cardinals lead 6-1 as their offense finally breaks out here in Game 4. They got 6 runs early in Game 1, and since then had been relatively quiet. Won yesterday 3-1 after losing to Ryan Vogelsong in Game 2. Guillermo Mota, the right-hander, getting loose. And Matt Carpenter, who we didn't even talk about coming into this series yesterday. The game-winning shot, it happened early, his first at-bat since taking over for Beltran. Tonight, a double, scoring, cheering. He's doing it all. He's having a blast, the young corner infielder in place of Carlos Beltran. Ball one in the dirt from Mijares. With Mota getting loose in a hurry out in the bullpen for the Giants, who now trail by 5. Those runs charged to Cantos. Carpenter takes ball 2-0. Cantos 2/3 of an inning, 2 runs on 2 hits. Lincecum 4 2/3, 4 runs on 6 hits. Here comes a 2-0. That's a strike, 2-1. Right-handed hitters coming up next, so that's why Mota is getting loose. That's high. Mike Matheny telling us before the game, Matt Carpenter already has his off-season homework, and that is to learn how to play second base. Came up as a third baseman, learning the outfield with John Mabry, learning first base, and now will add second base to his resume over the offseason, trying to get more at-bats next year. The 3-1 is a strike, full count.
We asked Mike when he told us that if he took a page out of Tony La Russa's book. Tony loved to have players play different positions, and he said yes.
Foul back. Mike Matheny, who ended his career with the Giants, was in Toronto for a year before coming to St. Louis 2000 through 2004. Prior to that, came up with the Brewers organization. 3-2. Carpenter pops it into left. Easy for Blanco. 2 out. Carpenter retired for the first time tonight, and that'll be it for Mijares. Matt Holliday coming up. Bruce Bochy coming out. And Guillermo Mota coming in. Frustration tonight for the Giants bullpen. The Cardinals celebrating from the beginning. They got 2 runs in the first, 2 in the 5th, 2 more here in the 6th, and lead by 5. First action in this NLCS for Guillermo Mota. Veteran right-hander will deal with Matt Holliday, who's had a nice night, 2 out of 3 with a pair of RBI singles and a run scored.
Joe, coming into this game, the Giant bullpen, 8 2/3, 1 hit, no runs. But it's been a different story tonight.
First Cantos, 2/3 of an inning, 2 runs on 2 hits. Mijares allowed 2 inherited runners to score. He's responsible for the runner at second, 2 out. And it's Matt Holliday. Strike 1. There are the numbers for that bullpen for Bruce Bochy and Dave Righetti. Here's an 0-1. Inside, a ball and a strike. In the 7th inning, looks like Wainwright will head back out there. It will be Sanchez, Pence, and Blanco. Anybody gets on the pitcher spot. Here's a 1-1. He's down and in, 2-1. With 2 out and a runner at second, that is a foul ball, 2-2.
That looks like the fan cave down in right field. Guys diving for the ball.
Well, I'll ask the question, who will become a legend this October? Cast your postseason legend vote at MLBFanCave.com. I know you've made at least 2 visits to the fan cave in your time in New York.
I've been there 3 times, and you've been there once. They're together this past summer. A lot of fun.
Runner at second, 2 out, and a 2-2 count. Moda deals high, a full count. This inning started with a hit by Descalso, then Cosma got a base hit to left. A good bunt by Wainwright. 2-run double by John Jay. Carpenter flied out. Now it's Holiday with a 3-2 count. '94 from Moda, fouled straight back. Holiday drove home 102 runs during the regular season. 7th highest total in the National League. He's got 7 RBIs this postseason. This game, he drove home his first runs in this NLCS. Popped up. Shortstop Arias. Inning over. Moda comes in, shuts the door on the 6th. Cardinals get 2 more. Lead by 5 as we go to the 7th inning. Back after this from your local Fox station. And here tonight in St. Louis, game 4 as Hector Sanchez, the catcher, leads it off. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts against Wainwright. Gets to go back out there for the 7th. 6-1 St. Louis. Breaking ball. He went around on a pitch outside. Strike 2.
How many times have you said that tonight? Breaking ball and he went around.
Tried to hold up, could not. That's foul, right in the direction of Ken Rosenthal. Ken, how about Wainwright tonight here in game 4?
Well, he's been great, Joe, and it goes back to game 5 of the division series. If you remember, he fell behind 6-0. He was very upset with his performance last night. Thrilled that his teammates got him obviously off the hook, and he was one of the guys on the top step as they came back against the Nationals. And for him, after missing all of last season, this has to be a very gratifying moment just to be back in this position.
Yeah, Ken, in that start, in that win and go on, lose and go home start against the Nationals in game 5, he went 2 1/3, allowed 6 runs, 7 hits. After being pretty good in game 1, including 10 strikeouts in 5 2/3.
Also 3 home runs to the Nationals in that 2 1/3.
Still 0-2 on Hector Sanchez, leading off the 7th. After the breaking ball strikes out Sanchez for the 3rd time tonight. Strikeout number 5 here in game 4 for Wainwright. The Geico in-game box score for the Giants. Pagan has done his part with a triple, a single. He's played a great center. Scudero has a hit. Pence a solo home run in the top of the 2nd that made it a 2-1 game. The Cardinals have scored 4 unanswered since then and lead 6-1. Here is Pence. After the home run for Hunter, he grounded out in the 5th, leading off. Giants had a chance last inning, down by 3, put 2 on. Pence was trying to unload on that one from Wainwright. 1 ball, 1 strike.
For the most part, with Wainwright tonight, he's done it with 2 pitches: fastball, curveball, and occasional changeup.
Here's a curveball again.
I'm telling you. Putting on a clinic of curveballs tonight.
That one misses down and away. Adam was a first-round pick by Atlanta. He grew up in Georgia. Was traded to St. Louis with Ray King and Jason Marquis. J.D. Drew and Eli Marrero back in December of '03. Came up with the Cardinals in '05. A 19-game winner, a 20-game winner. Missed last year with Tommy John, so he missed the entire March through October and that memorable World Series against the Rangers, and now he's hoping to help his team get back there, so Wainwright, now a starter again, can experience the World Series at the front end of the night instead of trying to close down games as Pence pops it into right. In comes Alan Craig. 2 out. And with the bases empty, it'll be Blanco the hitter. As Wainwright tries to get through 7. This would be not just Adams' longest start in the postseason, but for the Cardinals, they have not had their starters extend themselves into games much. It's been heavy reliance on that good young bullpen. Line strike, 0-1. Pitch number 96 on the night is grounded to first, fair, and that will end the top of the 7th. Wainwright has been outstanding here tonight in Game 4. We'll take a break, come back. Bottom of the 7th, Cardinals will bat, leading by 5. Slowly but surely, 1 game at a time, we're turning Tim McCarver into a big Jack White fan. That's off his latest album, CD, downloadable Blunderbuss, which is a great listen. Alan Craig is first up. In the bottom of the 7th inning, he has a sac fly for an RBI 0 for 2. His RBI, his first of this LCS. It came in the first, and he needs a new bat.
Yeah, I think that ball hit the end of the bat. Some of those bats, most of them, as a matter of fact, are bored out at the end. Yep, it chipped it right on the end. Turn that bat over, it's almost like a champagne bottle.
Jack White could use that as a guitar pick. He makes his guitars out of tin cans. Inventive, creative guy. Didn't meet me in St. Louis, I believe. Memory serves.
St. Louis Blues.
Hey, here's Craig with an 0-1 count. Allen is the right fielder tonight with the knee injury yesterday to Beltran. So Craig went to right tonight, and Matt Carpenter got the start at first. Cardinals haven't missed a beat. That's strike 2.
Behind that curveball, for the most part, of Adam Wainwright. Steve Horn and I were talking between innings, and Steve suggested that the curveball might be making a comeback this year. And the more I think about it, the more I think he's absolutely dead on.
Whoa. That got the attention of Craig up and in. And the count 2-2.
And Allen glad that this pitch is not dead on. Out of the way in time, out of harm's way.
The count 2 balls, 2 strikes, with the heart beating a little quicker for Alan Craig. He hits it fair. Diving stop Sandoval. The throw dropped on the other end by Posey. And Craig is on to start the 7th. It's a base hit.
First hit of the series for Craig as he hooks it down the line, but Sandoval just had too much to do and not enough time to do it. Fine play to prevent a double, but the throw to first is in the dirt, and it pulled Buster Posey off the bag.
Sandoval working over that piece of gum, able to spin on his way down to the ground in the rollover before he popped up and fired one on a couple of hops to Posey. It looked like Craig might have beaten it had Posey been able to come up with it cleanly anyway.
Right.
Now Molina, 1 on, nobody out. Good fastball, strike 1.
Well, we're talking about those curveballs and how it may have made a comeback. Think about the guys who have had success throwing that pitch. Namely, Justin Verlander of the Tigers and Doug Fister. Talking about a 1-2 punch that whoever wins here will have to face in the World Series starting next Wednesday.
Here's the 0-1 to Molina. That's low. Affelt, the left-hander, getting loose. David Freese on deck, then Descalso.
Clayton Kershaw, the Dodgers, with an excellent curveball. But we have seen one of the best we've seen all year tonight out of Adam Wainwright.
Trevor Rosenthal is getting loose. He's coming into pitch in the 8th. 2-1. A lot of pitchers and pitching coaches went away from the curveball for a while because they didn't think they could get it called a strike. But you mentioned some great guys with great pitchers with tremendous curveballs.
Over the top curves.
Here's a 2-1 from Mota. That's low. The count 3-1. Hole can't get any deeper for the Giants, who already trailed by 5 and will have to make a comeback if they're going to do it against the Cardinal bullpen, which has been fantastic. The 3-1. Hard hit, base hit, fair past third. All the way down into the corner. Craig will round third and score on an RBI double by Yadier Molina. It's 7-1.
That was a good play by Jose Oquendo, the third base coach. That ball crushed down the left field line. But because Gregor Blanco had a tough time coming up with the ball, then Jose Oquendo had to wait to wave Alan Craig around third. And he scores rather easily. There it is right there. He waited, waved him. Cardinals score their 7th run.
And Molina gets his first extra base hit over his last 13 games. 2 RBIs on the night, 2 out of 4. Here's David Freese, nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. Freese 1 for 3 tonight. And the Cardinals have their highest run total of this LCS. Hit Freese after Craig got one earlier this inning up and in. 2-0. Now Salas joins Rosenthal. It's the end of the night for Wainwright. He goes 7, allows 1 run on just 4 hits. Struck out 5, walked nobody. Allowed the home run to Pence.
Yeah, only 4 base runners for the Giants through 7.
2-1 down to count on Freese. Assuming that's it, might not be.
Yeah, this game's not a nail biter for the Cardinals. 6-run lead.
It's 7 strong innings from Wainwright when people started talking about coming back from Tommy John and innings limits. Such a hot topic this year in baseball with what went on with Strasburg and Washington being shut down at 159. Full count on David Freese. Now Salas alone with Rosenthal taking a seat in the bullpen. The 3-2. Spoiled it.
Kind of an old story right now, but I wonder how many baseball fans in the Washington area are asking themselves that question. Could we have beaten the Cardinals with Steven Strasburg starting? It's a reasonable question. It'll never be answered. But the Cardinals coming back from 6 runs down in Game 5 to beat the Nats.
Nobody out in this 7th inning. Now Freese needs a new bat. So while David gets a new bat, we'll tell you tonight's game is sponsored by the new 2013 Ford F-150 with EcoBoost by the Samsung Galaxy S3. The next big thing is already here. With a long at bat for David Freese. Mota trying to put him away. Lefty Affelt in the bullpen. Left-handed hitting Descalso on deck. Another 3-2 and a strikeout. 1 away. And that's going to be it for Mota. A strikeout ends the night for Mota, who goes 2/3 of an inning, allows so far a run on 2 hits. Affelt coming in. Here comes the left-hander with Descalso coming up for the Cardinals, who lead by 6. Affelt into the game. Descalso the first to face him. Runner at second, 1 out. St. Louis up by 6 in the 7th. Nice block by Sanchez to keep Molina from going to 3rd, ball 1.
He's made more than a handful behind the plate tonight. I haven't seen a lot of Sanchez, but he looks to me, with his offense, a switch hitter, like he's going to be a good ball player. I can see why the Giants are so high on him.
Problem for him is he's blocked.
Yeah, right. Unless you move Posey to first base.
Here's a 1-0. Fly ball shallow right. Foul territory and hauled in fair territory by Scudero, 2 out. Descalso 1 for 4 tonight, and Pete Kozma will be the hitter.
Of course, in the coming years, if the Giants decide to move Buster Posey to first base, then you waste his arm. He's got such a good throwing arm that he's in the right spot now for that particular skill. But it's good to have a backup catcher. I mean, how many teams have good backup catchers? It's disappearing in the baseball landscape.
Kozma now with a runner at second, 2 out. Good swing. He gets a big swing. Doesn't get cheated. He has a line drive base hit to left. His last time up. He's been on base twice tonight. On deck is Shane Robinson. Adam Wainwright's night is finished. Salas getting ready to come in. Ball 1 inside. Here's a 1-1. Right side foul ball, strike 2. There's Robinson, who got an RBI with a ground out. It was an important RBI for St. Louis in Game 3 yesterday late afternoon, right before the rain delay, which lasted 3.5 hours. 1-2 squirts away from Sanchez. He doesn't know where it is, but he's got Molina on the bases. Sandoval comes in to grab it. Count 2-2. Wild pitch.
He's corralled quite a few behind the plate. That ball hit the plate. It came up on him, carried him toward the Giant dugout.
Kozma with a count even, 2-2. Runner at third, 2 out. Another block by Sanchez. He's been busy in this start. He got it with the presence of Lincecum on the mound. Came in having caught the last 8 starts of Tim Lincecum. Posey getting the start at first. Now a 3-2. Line drive into left, base hit. And Kozma's got another RBI. That is his 7th of this postseason. It's 8-1.
Kozma, only 24 years old, has toiled and labored in 7 different minor league cities, including Johnson City, Tennessee, the Quad Cities, Springfield, and the Cardinal AAA affiliate, Memphis. And Wainwright should smile.
Here's Shane Robinson batting for Wainwright. 7 innings, 1 run, 4 hits. Strike 1. No walks, 5 strikeouts. And Adam Wainwright possessed a great curveball that was on display all night, and it was evident in the first inning that he had his good stuff. What a good bounce back start for Wainwright after that rough Game 5 division series start in Washington. 0-2 on Robinson. 0 for 4 with an RBI so far this postseason is Robinson. 2 runs scoring against Mota. He went around. The strikeout ends the inning, but not before the Cardinals scored 2 runs for the 3rd consecutive inning and lead by 7. What a night for Adam Wainwright. He got the ball to start in Game 4. On his way to a victory, hands it over to the bullpen, up by 7 through 7. Salas takes over here in the 8th. Aubrey Huff first up. He'll bat in the pitcher's spot. That means Affeldt is finished after going 2/3 of an inning. 1 hit, 1 strikeout. And the count 0-2 in a blink. It'll be Huff, then Arias, then Pagan against Salas, who is on in relief of Wainwright, looking for his first postseason win as a starter. 94 miles per hour from Salas. At some point here, we're going to start looking ahead as Javier Lopez gets loose to tomorrow night's matchup of Barry Zito and Lance Lynn. Here's the 0-2. Good swing and a foul straight back. 8-1, St. Louis on top. Salas with a count 0-2. Bounces it in there, and Huff swung and missed. 1 out.
Let's wrap things up about Adam Wainwright tonight. You remember our scouting report at the beginning of the game, that second point right there, get the curve over. Did he ever do that tonight? And just an example of what frustrated Giant hitters all night long, one after the other.
Here's Arias. Good rising fastball from Salas for strike 1. Joaquin is 0 for 1. Rounded out after taking over in a double switch in the 5th. Salas kind of the forgotten guy out in that bullpen. Last year the Cardinals counted on Fernando for a lot of big outs. Not just in the regular season, but into the postseason with Tony La Russa as manager, and now Mike Matheny has a different makeup to that bullpen. Same closer as La Russa ended with, even though he never really did name Mott the closer. Mott was that. Certainly in the World Series. He's been that all year long. He got the save, a 2-inning save last night, did not allow a base runner. Saved 42 games during the regular season to tie for the league lead. Comes a 2-1 to Arias. Fly ball into right. Alan Craig drifts back in front of the track. 2 out. Here's Pagan with 2 out, nobody on.
Good segue, talking about the defending world champs. What a World Series it was last year.
No doubt about that.
Unforgettable.
1-1 on Pagan. What a stretch it was by the Giants, winning their final 6 games just to get into and then through the postseason and win it all by beating the Patriots. Pagan flies one into shallow left. Out goes Cosma. In comes Holiday. And a 1-2-3 inning for Fernando Salas. Beltran has been able to sit and watch tonight and work on that business partner in the dugout. Bottom of the 8th inning rolls in. Cards bat up 7. Javier Lopez into the game. 6th pitcher of the night for the Giants. He'll try to keep it right where it is as a light rain starts to fall here in the 8th.
Cold rain.
It'll be the top of the order. John Jay, Matt Carpenter, and Matt Holliday against Lopez. Finally got into this series in game 3. In 1/3 of an inning, he was the one that was brought in right before the delay and then came back and got the man at the plate. John Jay on a ground ball to first. Starts Jay with a strike. This guy's got great action. Javier Lopez. The 0-1. 2. So hard on left-handed hitters.
Oh, yeah. When he drops down, as we said last night, that front side comes out of there and you really have no chance. Javier Lopez, born in Puerto Rico, moved to Washington, D.C. when he was 3 years old. His dad was an FBI agent, and that's what he wanted to be. However, I think he chose the right profession.
He's found a niche. He's that side-arming, left-handed specialist. Teams are always looking for this type guy.
That's right.
It's really what the Cardinals don't have.
Right.
You've got more conventional left-handers. Zepchinski. This guy is deadly on left-handed batters, and he gets a strikeout to start his night. 1 away. Give you now the UPS logistics plays of the game. Back to the 5th. The double by Matt Carpenter. Matt Holliday with a hit. The relay home got away from Sanchez, and then Yadier Molina knocked home Matt Holliday. A 2-run 5th inning. 2 more in the 6th. 2 more in the 7th. And an 8-1 lead. That's delivered by UPS. Let UPS put the power of logistics to work for you. Ball 1 to Carpenter with 1 out in the 8th. Matt on base 3 times tonight with 2 walks, a double, 2 runs scored, and he is flied out. Here's a 1-0. A good pitch called, ball 2. Giants in the 9th will have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters Scudero, Posey, and Sandoval. Chop to the right side, foul. 2-1. Casilla, the right-hander, has closed at times. Now one of the setup guys for Romo. Santiago getting loose in case something gets started here, and that's the Cardinal bullpen. Joe Kelly in the front, and I guess trying to stay warm. Whatever's going on out there. 2-1 pitch outside, 3-1. You could put a hidden camera in the bullpen.
Oh boy, no you couldn't.
Well, no. You'd have to have great editing and somebody with an unbelievable ability to get the bad stuff out of there. But during the course of a season, the way those guys evolve as a group, I mean, you've got San Francisco when healthy, and they've got Brian Wilson, who's in his own solar system leading the way out there. And then the Cardinal bullpen is a good group, and we understand they as a group shot something for Fox, which will air maybe tomorrow night. 3-2 pitch. That foul tip got Sanchez, who's had a long night behind the plate.
Yeah, you don't mind a foul tip like that coming in a close game, but an 8-1 game, catchers feel like there's no justice. Hitting on the right, the top of the right foot. But you know, that's an interesting point, Joe, because both of there are no villains on either of these teams. They both have great personalities, both as groups and as individuals.
Sanchez really hurt.
No, yeah, that ball came down. There was no rushing blow then. It came down right on top of the right foot, and I believe it missed that part of the shin guard. Yeah, it did. It went right. And those are not hard-toed shoes. If those were hard-toed shoes, a catcher couldn't squat. And they fiddle with those things in the 60s, but they couldn't get the flexibility in the toes that catchers need to go down and squat, and that ball avoided the flap, unfortunately, for Hector.
3-2 the count on Matt Carpenter.
But these groups of guys on both teams are such pleasures to be around.
No doubt. Fouls it away. One out will give you some good news for the Giants after Carpenter does something here with one out in the 8th. He strikes out. 2 down, and for that good news, let's go down to Aaron Andrews.
Brian Wilson is going to throw tomorrow for the first time, Joe, since having Tommy John surgery in April. And, you know, Brian Wilson, all serious business. He put his head into Bochy's office when he was with the media, and he said, activate me Friday. My first toss better be in a game. I've enjoyed him down here in the dugout, from the dance moves to the Manny and Petty, you know, suggestions of where to go. He is a absolute joy. Bochy said he's kind of crazy, though, to have to deal with, as you can see right there.
Bochy is about the most understated guy as a manager. Just calm, steady, and a reason why he's been so successful over the years. That's good news that the closer coming off surgery, Brian Wilson, will get a chance to throw in preparation for next year, get him on a mound, and let that off-season work prepare him for 2013.
Makes you smile.
Here's a fly ball into right. Pence back in front of the track. That'll send us into the 9th inning. Game number 4. Cardinals take the field, trying to take a commanding 3-1 lead. They lead this ball game 8-1. Now 8-1. St. Louis on top. Fernando Salas back to the hill. First up is Scudero, who has a hit tonight. New left fielder is Adrian Chambers taking over for Matt Holliday. We will see Holliday tomorrow night, and we will see a matchup of Barry Zito and Lance Lynn. Lynn making his 2nd start of this series. Zito, his first start since Game 4 at Cincinnati of the divisional round, when he lasted 2 2/3 innings. Does not have good numbers against the Cardinals in his career. And it's going to be up to Zito to try and get this series back to San Francisco and give Vogelsong another chance to start in what would be Game 6.
Vogelsong, the winner of the only game the Giants have won in this series, working 7 innings and pitching brilliantly in Game 2.
Here's a line drive foul into right. And the count 2-2. You know how the Giants think about it tomorrow. Coming to the park, win 1 game,
sudden death,
and then take the travel day and give the ball to Vogelsong. And if there's a Game 7, Matt Cain their best. Cardinals would counter with Carpenter and Loesch. Here's a line drive down the left field line. Another 2-hit game for Marco Scudero. And he has been sensational for the Giants, as he has singled and now doubled in his last 2 at-bats tonight.
Oh hum for Marco Scudero. You know what he's doing? He's using the lines. He uses the right field line one night and the left field line the next night.
Posey, strike 1. Posey 0 for 3 tonight, 2 out of 13 in this series. Scudero, who talked about hitting line drives in Colorado, said his year started with his first at bat. He hit a sinking line drive to center that was caught. He said, I don't know, I don't really haven't changed anything since I got to the Giants. It just maybe his luck has turned around and he couldn't be any hotter. Ended the regular season with a 20-game hitting streak. One to Buster Posey. Chopped to second for Descalso. 1 out. Over to third goes Scudero.
Yeah, like a pitcher cannot do anything about run support. A hitter can't do anything about placing the ball. All you try to do is hit the ball on the sweet part of the bat, hit hard ground balls and line drives, and hope they fall. In Colorado, for Scudero, they didn't, but for the Giants, they have bevy full of hits. Fall every day, it seems like, for Scudero.
Here's Sandoval. Scudero has made some history tonight with another 2-hit night. Sandoval Sandoval hits one into right. Back at the wall. It's a 2-run shot. Way out of here over the Cardinal bullpen. It's an 8-3 game. Sandoval hits his first home run of this series, second of this postseason. Maybe the Giants can hope that'll get him going leading into tomorrow night.
That's right. Every at bat is worth something. One of the first things you learn as a pitcher in the major leagues is don't throw any left-handed hitter down and in. Drop the bat head and hits it a long, long way to right field.
Now Sanchez takes a strike. While you watch the home run by Sandoval, who hit 12 during the regular season, has 2 this postseason. Need to finish with Scudero. He is the first National Leaguer to collect 2 or more hits in each of the first 4 games of the NLCS. 2 out in the ninth as Sanchez rolls one to Matt Carpenter. They hit the home run in the inning, but the Giants are down to their final out as they trail by 5, and Hunter Pence, who has a home run tonight, will try to extend it against Salas. The Cardinals 1 out away from a commanding 3-1 series lead. Strike 1. The Cardinals have scored 8 runs tonight without Carlos Beltran in their lineup. They push him and try and get him back in there for Game 5 tomorrow night. We'll find out. We're back at it with Zito and Lance Lynn. His replacement has been terrific. Matt Carpenter with a home run yesterday, on base 3 times tonight. Strike 2. The 25-year-old Lance Lynn gets the ball tomorrow. Barry Zito, the lefty on the other side, will try and get this series back to California. Outside, 2-2. Up right side. Foul ball. Carpenter is there. Cardinals win Game 4 and lead 3 games to 1. An 8-3 final tonight. A 3-hour, 17-minute game. And the Cardinals, in the history of this organization, 25-1 all time at home in the postseason when they score 6 or more. And tonight, the support was plenty for the pitching of Adam Wainwright. Chris Carpenter, the leader of this staff. The Game 2 starters celebrating. Mitchell Boggs and Jason Mott. Yadier Molina after this 8-3 St. Louis win, and Adam Wainwright gets the victory. We'll go down to the field now, and Aaron Andrews.
Joe, thanks so much. You said you had some good at-bats. You broke out tonight, 2 for 5, 2 RBI. What was the difference, Matt?
Well, you know, I've just been working on my swing, and, you know, I felt more comfortable tonight. I was able to get some pitches to hit and hit them hard, and good results, and that always helps with confidence.
And it looked like the top of your lineup there felt pretty good. Got some production out of them as well. What's the key in keeping this momentum going, knowing that you're now one game away from going back to the World Series?
Well, we just have to keep getting on base, and you know, the top of the lineup's getting on base. The middle of our order swung the bats well tonight, and if we can keep that going, we'll be in good shape. But they, you know, they had their backs against the wall against the Reds and won 3 in a row. So we still got our work cut out for us, and this series is by no means over.
Adam Wainwright, after a tough game, Game 5 against the Nationals, said, "Just get it back to me. Give me one more shot." What can you say about his effort tonight?
Well, there's no surprise. You know, you expect Adam to pitch well and pitch like an ace, and he did. Tonight he came out and pitched like he can pitch, and his curveball was really good, and he located his fastball, and no surprise. We all expect Adam to pitch the way he pitched tonight, and you know, sometimes things like the Washington game happen, but he's tough as nails, and we knew he'd pitch well.
Thanks so much. Joe, over to you.
All right, thank you, Aaron. So the Cardinals win it here tonight, 8-3. A night that started with Stan Musial waving to the crowd, the Clydesdales, and that hitch making its way around here at Busch Stadium. The Cardinals led 2-0 after 1. They win it 8-3 behind Wainwright over Lincecum. Take a break and come back here to St. Louis after this.